Now on CoastTV News.
A Delaware dad speaking for the first time since losing his young son and wife in the Washington D.C. plane crash. And the Philadelphia plane crash, an update what the mayor has to say just one day after the crash.
And a sunny and brisk day. We're going to have temperatures fall into the lower to mid 20s tonight, but we will see some better conditions as we go into our Sunday. But a big warm up comes early next week. I'll break it all down, and when we may see some rain chances roll back into the picture, coming up my full forecast.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Memorials being held for the young Delawareans that died in the Washington D.C. mid-air collision. Good evening, I'm Brandon Ferguson and welcome to CoastTV News at 11. We begin tonight with how to remember the lives lost locally from the Washington D.C. plane crash. There will be a memorial service held tomorrow to remember the 3 lives lost at the Fred Rust Ice Arena in Newark, right near the campus of the University of Delaware, tomorrow at 10 a.m. And if you want to watch this service, head to the UD Figure Skating Instagram for the Zoom link. NBC News' Aaron McLaughlin spoke with the father of Sean Kay about the hours after the crash and how he told his kids the news when he got back to the first state. Multiple family members speaking out and paying tribute to the lives cut short.
Vitaly Kay is mourning the loss of his wife and 12-year-old son. Julia and Sean Kay were flying back from the elite ice skating camp in Kansas. Sean, a figure skater with big dreams. Julia, a devoted wife and mother of 4.
The chances of this happening are more scarce than like winning a lottery. Just think of that. And it just happened.
When Vitaly heard news of the crash, he raced from their home in Delaware to Reagan National Airport.
I haven't seen any ambulances going to hospitals. In essence, just, explained everything.
He returned hours later to tell his 3 surviving children their mom and brother were gone.
It was critical for me to drive back from the airport and before kids wake up. They understood. Their reaction was shock and followed by disbelief, and my 7-year-old asked, hey, can we reboot them? No, sorry, can't.
So I'm clear, your 7-year-old asked, can we reboot them?
Yeah. When he said that, I knew what he meant.
Sean's skating partner Angela Yang was also killed, as was the entire Livingston family. 11-year-old Lydia, her 14-year-old sister Everly, their parents Donna and Peter. Samantha Wells was a coach at the skating camp they'd all been attending.
We were their moms for 3 days. We kissed their boo-boos and made sure they ate and made sure their skates were on.
Kansas residents Bob and Lori Chirac were on their way to visit their daughter Ellie, a student at Villanova. Grace Cantrell is one of Ellie's best friends.
All the things that her parents won't be there for, like her wedding, her first boyfriend, first kid.
We hope you enjoyed our hospitality.
Ian Epstein was working as a flight attendant, also a father, stepfather, husband, and brother. He loved his job, his sister says, because he truly enjoyed traveling and meeting new people. That positivity on full display in old social media posts of Ian at work.
Show some patience for one another. Show some tolerance for each other.
Aaron McLaughlin, NBC News, Ashburn, Virginia.
Now to the impacts felt in Ocean City. A well-known fisherman on the Eastern Shore was among one of the victims on American Airlines Flight 5342 that collided with a military helicopter Wednesday night. Steve Johnson established himself as a successful and respected angler within the Ocean City fishing community. His crew even won some money at last year's White Marlins Open. Yesterday, we spoke with some of the fishermen who developed close relationships with Johnson. Steve's first mate, Shane Knowles, says he will always remember how Steve lived his life to the fullest.
It's a cliche thing, but you can't take it with you when you go, and he lived every experience he could to the fullest and took full advantage of it. And, I think that's something important. We should all, with the seriousness of everything going on in the world, just take a step back and enjoy the moment.
Steve Johnson leaves behind a wife, Bridget. His friends say they were a great couple and lived their lives wild, free, and with a true love for the outdoors. Johnson was 44 years old. A medevac jet, which crashed into a neighborhood in northeast Philadelphia last night, caused a fiery explosion on the ground. The jet was carrying 6 people, including a pediatric patient and her mother. Officials say the girl was being treated for an illness at the Shriners Children's Hospital and was returning home to Mexico. At least one person was killed on the ground and more than a dozen injured, according to officials.
I was in shock. I'm still in shock. Like, this is insane.
It was only afloat for a very short period of time before something went terribly wrong and it crashed.
Delaware State Police say that a woman who was hit by a car in the Wise parking lot in Lewis has died. Debbie Pretty is the name of the woman that was killed. And Delaware State Police say an 86-year-old man was driving a Jeep Cherokee, which then hit Pretty. She was ambulanced to a nearby hospital where she later died at. On your screen now is a quote from Pretty's brother, Mike Simpler, saying in part, "Debbie was truly an exceptional individual inside and out. Please keep her 2 boys, grandchildren, and our family in your prayers," end quote. It is polar bear plunge weekend along the coast, and while the big event is tomorrow, this morning nearly 600 runners and walkers participated in the 5K run to the plunge. There are the runners at the start, and this was on the boardwalk in Rehoboth Beach, and CoastTV's Matt Pensick was the MC for the event. In addition to some strong wind gusts, the temperatures were in the low 40s, though that did not seem to bother some of the runners.
This is a tradition down here, so you have to stick to traditions. They're quite important. So, and it's also windy, so it's a 4-men function and fashionable at the same time.
I did it for the past 2 years, and it was so much fun. And now I finally roped her in.
Yeah, great cause, a lot of fun, great weekend to kind of celebrate with everybody and all be together for a great cause.
Today's 5K raised over $44,000 for Special Olympics Delaware, and tomorrow is the big event, the Polar Bear Plunge. Now to Dewey Beach. The town is building a new town hall, and 7 bidders were available to build this new building, which would include Sussex County EMS, a police station, and all of those town meetings. Costello Construction was picked from the town of Dewey to complete the 2 phases, all of this pending contract negotiations. In their initial bid, Costello said that they could complete this building in 600 days. We now take a live look into Dover, and our First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono joins us now. And Chris, it was colder now, but it's starting to heat up later in the week.
Yeah, we are looking at 60s returning. Believe it or not, the first full week of February, it was a chilly, brisk day. I mean, we hit these highs just after midnight, and the temperatures gradually fell into the 40s for most of the day. And despite sunny skies, we had winds gusting upwards of 30, 35 miles an hour. Still seeing some gusts at the coast, Indian River Inlet, 30 miles an hour. Rehoboth, 21. Winds are beginning to calm across much of interior Delmarva. That's allowing temperatures to fall into the upper 20s. We're at the freezing mark in Rehoboth, 31 in Ocean Pines. It's going to be a pretty cold night. We're going to dip down into the lower to mid-20s for most of the area. Tomorrow, more clouds than sun, but overall a pleasant, dry day. Seasonable temperatures in the mid-40s. Now, as we begin the new week, we are looking at that warm-up. Temperatures getting up into the 60s, but it's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster ride as far as the temperatures are concerned, because we're going to be dipping into the 30s and 40s by the middle of the week and then rising back into the 60s. And we are going to be dealing with a storm system middle part of the week that's going to be giving us some wet weather. Start the day tomorrow in the 20s. Clouds increase throughout the day. We're going to have more of an easterly wind, so still going to have that chill in the air, but we'll talk more about the warmer temperatures later on in the week, and we'll track those rain chances in the middle part of the week coming up in that full 7-day forecast here in a little bit. Brandon?
Thank you, Chris. And the Delmarva Job Fair took place at Del Tech today, and plenty of folks took the opportunity to find their next career. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. today, dozens of local businesses set up shop looking for their next hire. Whether the job was at a hospital, construction, or even the military, hundreds of job seekers came out to find what opportunity might fit them best. We spoke with 2 job seekers who said it was a great chance for them to take their next step in their careers.
This is the one that I've had successful with my last job here. I got into the science field, so I know that this can produce a lot of opportunities for people. This one's always on my list.
It's so impersonal to do it online. I think this is just such a better way to be able to talk to everybody and to get more communication between these businesses and to let them know who you are and what you're looking for.
Today was a great opportunity for people across Delmarva to find a job in Georgetown.
Well, our dry weather is going to continue into our Sunday and then even into the start of next week, but then we're going to see some changes roll in as we push into Wednesday and Thursday. I'll talk more about those rain chances coming up in my full forecast.
After the break, we have a full breakdown of everything that happened on Delmarva this week. We'll be back in just 60 seconds.
The virus that causes shingles is sleeping in 99% of people over 50. It's lying dormant, waiting, and could reactivate. Shingles strikes as a painful, blistering rash that can last for weeks, and it could wake at any time. Think you're not at risk for shingles? It's time to wake up, because shingles could wake up in you. If you're over 50, talk to your doctor or pharmacist about shingles prevention.
Have you just inherited a home or property and are feeling overwhelmed? First of all, secure what's now become yours against weather, theft, and trespassers. Keep it maintained, or you could face costly repairs and fines. Keep up with the mortgage and taxes, or face foreclosure. And before you sell, if that's an option, be sure to contact a professional home buyer. Delmarva Dave is here to help. For more information about Delmarva Dave, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
From more talk of the bird flu to tragic losses affecting Delmarva, there was a lot going on this week here on the coast, and Charlie Sakaitis has a look at our week in review.
Monday, a statewide collaboration in Delaware to curb the spread of bird flu. The U.S. Department of Agriculture will help DNREC officials collect dead and sick birds. DNREC saying the coast literally isn't clear. They've received over 2,000 reports. Tuesday, the Lewis Fire Department spent the night conducting an ice rescue training on Red Mill Pond. Firefighters say this is the time of year for ice rescues where they often happen as temperatures warm up and ice is not as thick as it seems to people and animals. Wednesday, a historic hotel in Ocean City coming down, demolition underway on the Beach Plaza Hotel, which was built back in 1953. There were plans to turn it into a Margaritaville resort. That is not happening anymore, but a new hotel will be built on that lot. Thursday, CoastTV learned that a number of people on Delmarva were killed in the tragic plane crash in Washington, D.C. this week. That includes these young ice dancers, Sean Kay and Angela Yang, who were on the way back from a skating competition in Wichita. And Friday, the city of Rehoboth Beach conducted a training on the Freedom of Information Act, also known as FOIA. Notably, this comes months after the city was found in violation of the Freedom of Information Act following the hiring of city manager Taylor Tedder. This was because they engaged in discussions of his contract in executive session that was held behind closed doors. For your week in review, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
Looking pretty good tomorrow morning. If you have any brunch plans, temperatures are going to be in the 30s, eventually getting into the mid-40s with mostly cloudy skies. We'll talk about a little roller coaster ride as far as the temperatures are concerned, and we'll talk some rain or maybe even some snow chances in that extended forecast. And that's all coming up when Coast TV News at 11 continues.
And after our weather, Department of Justice fire prosecutors involved with the January 6th riot at the Capitol.
Hey, I'd like to tell you a secret that most roofing contractors wouldn't want you to know. Did you know that some contractors buy their credentials and pass the cost on to you? Not only that, but your prorated warranties are paid for by you, the customer, up front. At Callaway, we don't pay for our status, so you get the same quality roof at a lower price. When you need a new roof, make sure you get a quote from Callaway Corporations and see why Callaway is the easy choice. Call now for your free estimate.
Callaway Corporations, installing roofs in Delmarva for over 20 years.
You like to keep your beard perfectly groomed, but she hates all that mess. Now there's VacuTrim by Bell & Howell, the total body shaver that trims your hair and vacuums it up. VacuTrim stainless steel blades give you a precision cut, while the built-in vacuum captures the hair shavings. It has 20 trim settings to shape your beard and tame body hair with no mess. Get VacuTrim with free shipping for only $39.95.
Call 1-800-263-0608. That's 1-800-263-0608 or go to vacutrim.com.
The perfect Valentine's Day starts with a puppy from Puppies R Us in Bridgeville. Puppies R Us has the largest selection of lovable puppies on the shore. Visit our website or like us on Facebook. From purebreds to hybrids, our pups are vet checked, vaccinated, and microchipped, so you can be sure your new furry family member will be happy and healthy. You'll love our Valentine's double discounts. Get $200 off a puppy purchase, a free bag of Candidae dog food, and 20% off accessories for a month. We finance too. Puppies R Us, Route 13, Bridgeville, Delaware.
Mark your calendars for the Children's Beach House Gala presented by Jack Wingo Realtors and Jack Wingo Asset Management on February 8 in Dewey Beach. This black tie evening features an open bar, auctions, dinner, and a performance by Kristen and the Noise. Your support helps empower children with special needs to build confidence, develop leadership skills, and thrive in a caring community. For more info, visit cbhinc.org/gala or call 302-841-9639. Sponsored by CoastTV.
Well, we're taking a live look into a breezy, desolate Ocean City. Taking a look at the boards there, and temperatures right now in Ocean City, 34 degrees. Still seeing winds out of the east, northeast, anywhere between about 9 to 15 miles an hour. Skies are clear, falling into the upper 20s through the overnight, and then clouds will begin to increase through daybreak tomorrow. Well, we saw some high gusts today, 37 Salisbury, 33 Cambridge, 25 Georgetown, so it was a brisk day despite sunny skies. You could see the wind flow out of the northeast, still seeing some gusts upwards of 28 Indian River Inlet, 22 in Rehoboth, but you can see quieter. Those winds are beginning to calm throughout the inland areas, and with that said, with the calmer winds and the clearing skies, we'll begin to see those temperatures dip into the 20s. Well, we hit our high just after midnight last night, 54. We just hit our low actually just before 11 o'clock. The average high is 46, the record 76 back in 2002. Look at that record low, 0, set back in 1965. You can see those small craft advisories up for another few hours across the coast. We are clear as far as any precipitation goes, pretty quiet throughout much of the eastern half of the country, all the way out through the Ohio and Tennessee River valleys. And we're going to be dry here for the next few days. It's not until midweek we begin to see some rain roll back into the picture. So cloudy, seasonable day tomorrow. Milder, though, as we begin the first full week of February. We're going to be pushing the lower 60s. Tonight, though, this is going to be the coldest night really for the next 7 to 10 days. We're looking at lower to mid-20s across the inland under partly cloudy skies. If you're heading out to the 34th annual Lewis Polar Beach Plunge tomorrow, it'll be chilly, it'll be cloudy, but it could be a lot worse for early February. 42 degrees, and that water temperature is 40 degrees. We're going to see those highs tomorrow. Lower to mid-40s, I think we'll be up more around 44, 45 for most of the area. Pocomoke City, 43. Now you can see Futurecast shows some filtered sunshine through the morning, increasing clouds through the afternoon. Notice the east wind, so it's still going to have that chill in the air tomorrow, but then we see those changes as we roll into Monday morning, starting off in the mid to upper 30s. We see that southerly flow, and we're going to be in the upper 50s to lower 60s for most of Delmarva, and we're going to continue to see that milder air at least through Tuesday. 46 is the average high. Look at that drop there into Wednesday, and that's all ahead of another storm system. You can see Climate Prediction Center has primarily slightly above normal as far as precipitation goes here over the next 6 to 10 days. We're dry into Tuesday. There's that system rolling in late Wednesday into Thursday. This system looks like a cold rain, and then we see temperatures turn milder into Thursday, and then we see another wave of rain move in Thursday into Friday. So things will begin to turn active as we get into Wednesday. We have Groundhog Day tomorrow. Will he see a shadow? Will he not? Will remain to be seen. We'll check that out tomorrow morning. 56 for your Thursday. And overall, Brandon, staying pretty mild through most of that 7-day forecast.
Starting to heat up, Chris. And the U.S. Department of Justice yesterday fired more than a dozen prosecutors who worked on the January 6th Capitol riot cases. Those who lost their jobs had worked on the case on a temporary basis. According to a memo from the DOJ. Their jobs were set to be converted to permanent status at the end of the Biden administration. The firings came after the Trump administration demanded the names of those who worked on the U.S. Capitol attack and Trump-related investigations. And staying with the Trump administration, they're following through with a campaign promise. The White House has announced that increased tariffs will go into effect this month for goods coming from Canada, Mexico, and China. The administration is imposing a 25% tariff on goods coming from Mexico and Canada and a 10% tariff on goods coming from China. And we're going to stay with the Trump administration. President Trump has fired the director of Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. A source says Rohit Chopra was notified of his termination in an email from the White House today. Chopra was appointed by President Joe Biden in 2021, and his term was supposed to run through late next year. However, a 2020 Supreme Court ruling gave the president the power to fire the director without cause. During his time at the independent agency, Chopra spearheaded a controversial regulation targeting so-called junk fees. A new turn in the P. Diddy case, what the judge has to say now.
I recently had Primalock installed by Delmarva Metal Roofing. They have many different colors. I decided to go with black, and it almost looks like slate. That's kind of cool. It pops. Everything looks great. I did some research. Primalock is lifetime. The workmanship is lifetime also. Delmarva Metal Roofing has been a very good company to work with, and I would highly recommend anybody that wants to get a new roof, give them a shot.
Hi, this is Amber Brazier. Welcome to Brazier's Carpet Care. Drop off your rugs today or have us pick them up and let our state-of-the-art cleaning plant do the rest. Many methods are used to clean rugs, from air dusting to remove fine soil to soaking in our whirlpool. Hand-knotted rugs are carefully washed, rinsed with cold water and wrung out, followed by a trip through the centrifuge before entering our controlled temperature drying room. We also repair all types of rugs from braided to hand-knotted. Quality cleaning by people who care. That's Brazier's Carpet Care.
Hey Mildred, you ready for our weekly twister match? Help! 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 Linda, I've slipped and I can't get up. Mercy, Mildred. Swirl me in bubbles and call me a jacuzzi. I told you should have called Peninsula Bath.
At Peninsula Bath, your safety is our #1 priority because we believe in baths without bruises and showers without surprises.
I'm no longer scared to use my shower. Thank you, Peninsula Bath.
Peninsula Bath, ready when you are.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with my Bionic Blade, the new handheld blender that's rechargeable, so you can make a fast, healthy shake anywhere. It has the motor and blades built right into the lid, so blend a shake at the gym, make pina coladas by poolside, or grind coffee beans for an iced cold brew on the go.
Get the Bionic Blade for just $29.99 with free shipping. You'll also get 2 sipping lids, a second container, and the sports lid. Get it all for just $29.99. Order now.
The man accused of murder of rapper Tupac Shakur is facing a new charge. Authorities revealed Dwayne Davis is accused of harming someone at the Clark County Detention Center in Las Vegas. Davis has been in custody since his arrest in September of 2023, and police say Davis is charged with a battery-related assault in last Sunday's incident. And earlier this month, Davis' lawyer filed a motion to dismiss all charges against his client, and the lawyer claims Nevada has violated Davis' constitutional rights. A judge denied the motion last week, and Tupac Shakur died in 1996. There's been 2 additional female victims that have been added to the Sean Diddy Combs federal case. Thursday, federal prosecutors filed an indictment and expanded the racketeering conspiracy allegations to include the latest victims. The 55-year-old was previously charged with racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution with a former girlfriend known as Victim 1 in the case. And now to another high-stakes case. Harvey Weinstein begged a judge Wednesday to move up his trial date on his sex crimes charges. He told the judge he might not make it to the April 15 date because of what he called medieval conditions at Rikers Island, where he is currently being held. He pleaded that even moving up a week could make a difference, and the judge said he can't move it up before April because of scheduling conflicts. Weinstein is set to face charges from allegations involving 3 accusers. A familiar face is coming back to the big screen. Matthew Lillard confirmed on social media that he'll be in Scream 7. The actor portrayed Stu Macher in the first Scream movie, and although it seemed like his character died at the end of the film, in 2021, Lillard said in an interview Stu was still alive and he wanted to return. Neve Campbell, who was in several of the horror franchise's sequels, will also appear in Scream 7 and is scheduled to be released sometime next year. After the break here on Coast TV News at 11, we have a final check on your forecast.
All the natural light of the great outdoors, right in your dining room. Shell Brothers, find your great indoors. All the solitude of the outdoors, without the bad Wi-Fi connection. Shell Brothers, find your great indoors.
Living in pain isn't living at all. At Delmarva Acupuncture, we help get your life back.
I was not able to really get around. I was using a cane. When I came in here, I was a little skeptical, but it works. It got me walking 5 to 6 miles a day on my vacation. I had a wonderful time. I came back still feeling great. If you are being told there's nothing more that can be done for you, it's an option.
Don't let your pain hold you back. Call Delmarva Acupuncture today to reclaim your life.
The world's #1 selling farm tractor. Easy to operate and more powerful than your average tractor. Mahindra tractors. Push more, pull more, lift more. With more torque and lower engine maintenance, Mahindra tractors are rugged and tough. We know how much you love your land, so we want you to love your tractor. Get your next Mahindra tractor today. Southern States of Milford, improving farming and improving life. Rooted since 1948.
Coverage on the road, along the coast, live on the street, day or night. From breaking news to weather in your town, the IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep.
Have fun and enjoy Delmarva's Coast with Petey the Peacock, sharing joy coast-wide. Know where he's going to be next and get his free coloring book at peteythepeacock.com. Sponsored by Tidal Health. NBC Nightly News. Weeknights at 6:30 on Coast TV.
Will Smith announced his first album in 2 decades and released a new single. The album, titled Based on a True Story, drops in March. It will feature several already released singles and the new song titled Beautiful Scars. The video for the song with Big Sean has Smith portraying Neo from the Matrix movie, and Smith turned down that role back in the late 90s. Now to Valentine's Day spending. People are expecting to shell out some big bucks this Valentine's Day. According to the National Retail Federation, shoppers plan to spend an average of nearly $189 on the holiday. That's up about $3 from last year, and in total, consumers are expected to spend a record $27.5 billion on this year's Valentine's Day. As for gifts, the most popular category this year is candy, followed by flowers, greeting cards, and a night out on the town. The time is now 11:27, and we bring in meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono and taking a look into Salisbury. And Chris, your Eagles are about a week away from the Super Bowl, and they're saying $27.5 billion for Valentine's Day. It's about the same for a Super Bowl ticket these days.
I know, right? It's crazy. I've been seeing packages going for, $12,000, $13,000. I think we saw round-trip air tickets. I was messing around on the airline. It was like $1,500 and $1,900 from Philly to New Orleans.
About $20 for a pizza and watch it from your couch. I think that's what we'll be doing.
There you go. Nice bowl ice cream maybe too with that. We are looking at a cold night ahead. 23 degrees. Winds will be pretty calm, though, through the overnight. We had some gusts today upwards of 35 miles an hour. As we go into the day tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures right around the mid-40s. So a seasonable day. We'll see more in the way of cloud cover. Still that slight chill in the air with that east wind, but far different story into Monday. We're looking at 60 degrees, a beautiful day, and a mild start to February. You can get your forecast anytime by dialing the First Alert Weather phone. We're in the 60s once again on Tuesday. I think temperatures fall throughout the day. 42 on Wednesday, watching for a system Wednesday night into Thursday, and then another area Thursday into Friday, but we stay mild. It looks like primarily a rain event, and we're going to be in the 50s, Brandon, right through Super Bowl weekend.
Yep, and we'll see if the groundhog, what happens with that tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in to Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Saturday Night Live starts right now. Have a great night.